So today is video number 4, and we're covering how much freight brokers make. We're doing that in a video series over a 7-year period of time from 2015 up until current day. Now, the reason why we're doing this is so that you, as a new freight broker, can get some idea of how much money a freight broker work from home can really make. At the same time, what I want you to understand is I don't want you to get so focused on the numbers that you just say, oh, okay, he made $50,000 the first year, $100,000 after that, $200,000, $300,000. I don't want you to start looking at those numbers and just be like, oh man, that's pretty easy, because there's nothing easy about it. And I don't want to paint the picture that it's easy. It's a dogfight. Every single day, you have to go in and get down to the business. You have to call customers that you don't want to call. You got to figure out how you can service people. You got to figure out what they need. And it is a dogfight. Nobody is out there just saying, oh, okay, here's the new guy and I want to give him an opportunity. Most people are saying no. It's no after no after no. And most people are not cut out for that. So I don't want you to start looking at the numbers and just be like, oh, that business is for me because it makes decent money. Yes, of course. In my world, how I look at it, it's about how much money can I go into this business and make. That's what I look at. If I don't see money opportunity, then I don't see the opportunity for me. But with that said, this is not something that you can just focus on numbers and say, man, this is for me. No, you got to look behind the curtain. You have to understand the sacrifice it takes. You got to look at it and say, man, am I going to dedicate myself? Am I going to be disciplined enough over a long period of time so that this can work? This is not just about, oh, he can make $300,000 in a year. Oh, that's for me. No, don't do that. Look at this business. Look at your skill set. Look and see if it's something you say, hey, maybe I don't have that skill set right now, but I can develop it. I'm willing to work on myself, develop the skills that are necessary. But if you don't see that, if you can't take rejection and keep moving forward, if you're looking for somebody to tell your sob story to, why shippers aren't working with you, why they won't give you an opportunity, oh, this one said this. Well, I can promise you one thing, this business is not for you. This business is for those people that are willing to go in and put their heads down, go to work and make it happen for themselves. So don't get mesmerized by the numbers. So going into the 4th year of my business, I set a goal of $200,000. Now, how I set goals is I set that number based on what happened in the previous year, what new things we may have been implementing, and how I see those things working out, how I look at those things impacting the business in the coming year. And I make an assessment and say, hey, I'm going to set a goal at this number. Now, that goal is a number that's attainable, but it's definitely a number that's going to challenge me. And when I don't hit those goals, then I figure, man, it must be for a reason. So I got to figure out why I didn't hit that goal. And for the 4th year in business, the $200,000 goal, we didn't hit. So that's 2 consecutive years now that we didn't hit the goal of revenue that we wanted to make. So I need to find out, hey man, why didn't this happen? And what I discovered was one of the main reasons why we didn't hit that $200,000 goal was due to profit margins. Earlier, I told you we had a new customer, and that was great. It's a big customer, and it gives us access to freight 24/7. But the problem is that I wasn't used to moving flatbed freight. You see, we had been moving mostly refrigerated freight. Now, we would move flatbed here and there, but I was used to pricing and moving refrigerated freight. Well, when I got into a flatbed lane, I had to figure that out. And those profit margins were definitely impacted by that. So because the profit margins were slimmer, even though we were moving more loads, we weren't making as much money as I had anticipated we would make. So because of that, instead of getting to that $200,000 mark, we made about $180,000 in year 4. And also, we downsized those agents. I told you we had started out with 8 agents. What I decided to do was downsize to 2 agents. So it would take my time away from all of those other activities, and now I could focus just on those couple of agents that we had and put my attention back on the customer base. So we were figuring things out, and the great thing about it was we made $182,000. And what I want you guys to know is that $180,000, $200,000, $150,000 in your own business can change your life. A lot of you ask me questions about how much do you actually keep out of the money that you make, because you're reporting total revenue numbers. Good observation. Here's what I want you to understand about the freight broker business. It is not the trucking business. You see, the trucking business, yes, is a very overhead heavy type of business. It requires that you spend a lot of money. You have a lot of expenses to own and operate that type of business. But that's what's different about the freight broker business. It is not top heavy, overhead heavy at all. What it comes with is about $5,000 in total expenses for me, including my payroll. So that's not a whole lot of money at all, and everything after that is profit. Everything after that, I use it how I want. And included in that is money that I'm paying myself through a W-2. So when you start your own business, you have to figure out how you're going to pay yourself, how you're going to structure things so that it's in the best benefit to who? The business owner. That's what it's all about. And since we're on the topic of structure, another thing that we did this year is we restructured our business. We were an LLC and we restructured to an LLC with an S election, because what that allows for us to do is to be an S Corp, be taxed like a corporation. So I get to take a W-2 pay and I only pay self-employment tax on my W-2 pay. I also get to take investor pay, business ownership pay, and I don't have to pay any self-employment tax on that money. So that was a super big move that allowed for us to keep more money in our pockets. So yes, the overall revenue is important, but the most important piece is how much you keep in your pocket. Because if you're paying it all out in taxes, if you're paying 15.3% on $100,000, that's $15,300. So we have to make sure we're structuring our business properly so that we can take advantage of the tax system that's there for us to take advantage of. If you don't do that, if you don't restructure your business so that you can put yourself and your business in the best position, then are you really a business owner? Do you really have you and your business best interests at hand? And one of the most important things that I've learned in year 4 of this business is that you don't waste time with people that you're not making money with. Some of those customers that you work with are not worth your time. There's something called a Pareto principle. Some people refer to it as the 80-20 rule. We had about 10 customers at this time of our business that we're working with, but like the 80-20 rule says, 20% of those customers account for the biggest part, about 80% of my revenue. So what I figured out is that I couldn't spend time running behind, wasting time on customers who I'm not really making a whole lot of money with. I have to spend my time, focus all of my time, energy, and effort, most of it anyway, on the customers who's producing for us. So in year 4 of the freight broker business, we're happy with the progression of the business, happy with the increase in revenues, but we do understand there's still a whole lot of improvement that we have to make as a business. We got to get better at profit margins. We got to get better at bringing on additional customers. We got to get better at the service that we provide. We got to get better at providing rates to our shippers. So there's a lot of improvement we have to make, but we are happy with the direction the business is going in because we're making little improvements every single day. And that's what you'll need to do in your business when you get started on this journey. Just get a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. So in our next video, we'll cover years 5 and 6 of our freight broker business. And although we haven't had that big explosion in revenue just yet, I'm thinking that we're poised to do so. So tune in to videos number 5 and 6 coming up soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I wish you the very best in your life and business. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's the 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. And what it does is gives you a chance to come into the office with me and watch me as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers. That way you can get a better understanding of how the business works before you come into it. And if you want to learn more about becoming a full-time freight broker, where you're spending your time focused on your goals, building your dream, I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.